when you leave America, you see outside this bubble. Vietnam, why not? When I first got here, I was eating out maybe 5 times a week.
$5 for 3 foot long. Where can you get that at? Not at Subway.
So you've been here for a year and a half. Basically came out here with $5,000. How did you sustain yourself the whole time?
The cost of living is exponentially higher in America. When you're outside looking in, you feel like, oh, I need this, I need this. You get here and you don't need half of it. I love my lifestyle out here. Just walking to the beach, away from the tourist areas. I like to kind of intermingle, becoming a local myself. Coming out here, I feel more seen than being in America. A lot of the Vietnamese people haven't seen black people before. I've taken so many pictures since being out here that if I was to charge people for taking pictures, I would have been able to pay for rent a couple times. They just want to talk to you just because. For example, there's a coffee shop right down there. One of the workers there, she would greet me every day when I first moved in here. It's like, you're here. It's like, it's you. It's like, it's me. Like, you know, but she was just so excited to just talk to me. That's the case everywhere I've gone here. Everyone wants to kind of talk and have some type of conversation. It says a lot about the people. Come on with.
I think it's really good to travel when you're young, you know, and take a big risk. Not too big of a risk, but take a risk. Take a trip. Travel, see how it is abroad. I get the feeling when you go somewhere and you're seen, most of the time when you're in the States, you're always invisible to everyone around you. You're just some every other bloke. It just seems like you're going through a simulation of just emotional-less people. Being out here in Asia, you feel more lively. You feel like you're your own person. Not only that you belong here or there, but you feel like a living being.
Me. Vietnam cribs. So one thing that surprised me is here they leave their shoes at the door. Like, it's super customary. That changed my way of viewing the home in general. Like, it's, you know, it's a place of cleanliness.
The ceiling is so high. Like,
right, yeah.
Most American homes don't have.
Yeah, pretty much a low ceiling. The Vietnamese in general, like, they just need the essentials to get by. Very minimal here. One couch, chair, a couple tables and a desk, and then the bed.
Let's see, so you have the kitchen here?
Yeah, simple kitchen.
So you have like a small induction stove?
Yes, rice with every meal. Simple bathroom.
Okay, the shower, washing machine too. And so did you buy all this equipment in Vietnam or did you bring it from America?
I brought it from America. The only thing I think I bought here was probably the Mac Mini, the external keyboard, and
You can probably get that whole setup that he's got for maybe a quarter or half the price that you would get in America. In America, and of course in the Philippines and Thailand, they don't have ceilings that are that high, but this is kind of surprising. But yeah, I mean, he's got a good space, a good setup, everything looks clean. Yeah.
This MIDI here as well. Because we have this one and the other one. Initially we was only in one and they gave us like 2 beds and stuff. So it was pretty cool that they would just offer to give us extra beds. But this is the other one.
Ah, so this is, well, Kai's.
Yeah, this is Kai's,
okay.
Kai's setup.
Wow.
Wow, it just opens up to another room.
Yeah, so it's, for both of them, it's 10 million.
Wow, that's awesome. And that comes out to around $200 per person?
Yeah.
And then you guys also have a balcony.
Exactly. A nice little view. Yes, for sure. So I have it kind of jimmy rigged so that I can just leave it open and no bugs will make it through.
Wow, so this whole setup is 10 million. And do you know how much you pay for electricity and water?
Well, water is what, 200K per person. That's unlimited for the month. And electricity, 30 to 60 bucks, somewhere around there. Which, coming from America, is, you know, a fraction of the cost.
I am definitely overpaying for my condo. He's paying cheaper monthly rent and he's got more room than me. He's got 2 sinks, 2 kitchens, and 2 bedrooms. I'm paying for a shoebox, 400 USD, and I could be having that or better than his setup. Oh, I might move to Vietnam. Sounds like a better deal.
Pay for the Wi-Fi?
The Wi-Fi is already included. From seeing the pictures to actually coming into viewing the place and then to signing the contract and actually moving in, it took me like a day and a half to find this place on Facebook groups. That's honestly the place to go about looking for a long-term stay. Yeah, seeing the pictures, seeing the posts, they want you to see it immediately. They don't really care for you to, you know, wait around. The sooner you can see it, the better. So if you have a
That's the quickest way to find a condo or an apartment is Facebook, not Facebook Marketplace, but join some Facebook groups and look for staycations or condos, apartments, houses. There's always going to be people posting things for rent, for sale. All you got to do is name your budget, exactly what you're looking for and when you're looking to move. And then your inbox and spam box is going to come flooding with inquiries. So, tip.
Higher budget, then you can find another place. Maybe you might get a villa or something. So you can find something for every level of where you're at. In America, you have to, one, apply for a certain apartment to even get into them. And that comes with a fee. And then, you might not even get the place. And then, you have to schedule the viewing, like you have to work along their schedule. That process is I would say, a lot harder there than it is here.
How much do you think you spend maybe a month?
$350, $390, somewhere around there. Honestly, I feel like it's less than that because I eat in all the time and my meals are budgeted pretty extensively. Back home.
Okay, our prices are about the same, but he's got way better deal than me. Renting in America, the process is so stupid. Some places you have to have good credit in order to rent an apartment, which is absolutely ridiculous. But here in Asia, all you have to do is just deposit. Sometimes it's 1 month deposit and 1 month advance. Sometimes it's 2 and 2. Sometimes it's 3 and 3. But if you want 1 and 1, just to not put a whole bunch of money down, it is definitely possible. But yes, in America, we like to make everything complicated with stupid ass applications, appointments, viewings, and then you have to wait at a certain day. You can't just move in now, even though the place is completely empty. You can only move in that certain day. And just moving into an apartment is stressful because sometimes you can't get a hold of the landlord, which is another hiccup. But out here in Asia, you can get a hold of anyone when it comes to apartments or condos almost instantly because they're always looking for someone to rent.
Home rent was $600 a piece because I had my cousin Kai.
Where was he
and
living
we had
at?
another roommate that wasn't including electricity. Electricity again was like say $150 or so $50 a person just about. That's already without talking about groceries.
What was life like back home in America? How did you end up all the way here in Da Nang?
Okay, so pretty much just always working. My work experience is primarily customer service based. We also drove trucks for a while, so I got to kind of explore and see America. And that kind of also sparked a bit of me wanting to see more. I was also going through some health issues. I had a very persistent cough. I would start to cramp up. Initially, that cramp started at maybe the size of a dime, and then it became the size of a grapefruit. So I would cough, again with this persistent cough, and it would just be like a huge ball just on my ribs. I started going to the doctor. He didn't know what was going on, and basically he prescribed a cough suppressant, and that was the end of it there. Every time I've gone to the doctor and or the hospital, I would say something and what I was saying didn't translate to what they were receiving. So it seemed to always be a disconnect between what I was going in for and what they were trying to treat me for. And so at my worst, I ended up getting inflammation of the colon. They did endoscopy and a colonoscopy as well. Honestly, they did a lot of work, so I don't want to say that they didn't try to help. It's just, again, even with what was prescribed, it's like, I don't think you guys understood what I was saying. I felt like in Asia, they're looking for root causes. They're looking at the body as a whole. And when I was there in America, they want to send me to this outpatient. They want to send me to gastroenterologist. They want to send me to different places.
This is why I hate going to the hospital in the States, because they always want to give you the runaround. They want to send you here, send you there, and it just, guess what happens? The charges keep on racking up and racking up. Next you know, you're in debt for something simple, but it makes no sense. This is why I don't like going to the doctor, to the hospital anytime in the US, because it's so ridiculous. If I go to the doctor or the hospital here, somewhere, anywhere in this country, the problem gets fixed. And the thing is, I went to the doctor a week ago and they heard exactly what I said, listened to all the symptoms, and they treated me, and my problem was gone like that. And guess how much it cost me for treatment? It cost me 800 pesos for treatment. That's less than $20 for treatment. I didn't have to show no insurance card, nothing. I just got treated just like that. In the States, it would cost me grands, almost tuition like grands.
And I'm thinking, but I came to you for these things. I feel like it's one whole situation. They were just cutting it up into pieces. I ended up going to the hospital at least 8 times. They'll tell you when you get discharged, if it gets worse, you come back. And every time that I would go, it's like, all right, well, this got worse. And now I have this going on. And yeah, and then those bills start to add up. You have to pay out of pocket for a lot of things. Now, if it's a hospital visit, which I didn't know at the time, at least with my health insurance that I had, every time you went, it was like you were definitely gonna pay like a flat fee, no matter what you did. I ended up looking up all my symptoms and, you know, just writing out all my symptoms and seeing where things were connected. Thinking back on it, it's ridiculous that I had to do this myself, but you gotta do what you have to do at some point. I ended up working for a bit, saved some money, and decided I wanted to see more. Me and Kai, we had another friend that he's actually Mexican, and so if we are to leave and go somewhere, then we would kind of want someone that spoke the language. And since, you know, he spoke Spanish, he was like, all right, well, let's go, let's see about it. And when we did leave, it was eye-opening, it was groundbreaking, just to see how other people lived. Because, you know, in America, you only pretty much see the people that are around you and how they live, or you see how people are living on social media. So for me to not see this on social media, these people are living with less than I have, and they seem to have a richness to them, a love, a zeal for life that at the time I didn't understand, and I was still really searching for. It unlocked something in me, just seeing that there's more out there. Opened my eyes again to just traveling in general, and then about health and understanding that the medical field doesn't necessarily equate to, you know, health and being healthy. I would say it's like a reset. I could start fresh. I could, you know, now start to see things from a more healthy point of view. I stayed out there for 6 months in total, go back to America, and now with this newfound sense of seeing how people are living with less and living a fuller lifestyle, it's like, I want this for myself full time. And so we made it our mission, because it wasn't just me, that we would leave America. And so as soon as we touched down back in America, right to work. It's like, all right, well, what can we do right now in this instance?
That's gotta be miserable as hell. I know I've heard so many stories of guys that had to go back to the US and they just hated it. And they hated it because as soon as they touch base in the US, they gotta go straight to work, do the same old grind, boring, dumb shit that you gotta do to survive. And then they're just missing being abroad and living that nice, simple, peaceful life. And I'm gonna tell you one thing when it comes to health. I don't think the US is incentivized to really treat its citizens. Say what you want. People seem to always get sicker, especially with all the claims of all the food that we ingest. It's always poison here, poison there, poison here, poison there, cancer here, cancer there. There's so many stories I've heard of people that had medical issues that as soon as they left America, their health issues started to go away, started to fade over time. And I was like, well, I wonder why. Because you're not eating the same old poisonous processed slop that are served every day. I think people start to get healthier when they leave the States for a while, mentally and physically.
Work and save, live frugally, and save as much as possible so that we can leave again. And 9 months or so of just steady, like back-to-back work, not knowing how we would live once when we left. Started working, driving trucks everywhere. We worked at a glue factory at one point. Like, it was really just picking up jobs. After the 9-month mark, we had about like 5,000 a piece. We didn't necessarily know how much that was gonna cover, what it was going to do for us. You know, selling some of our things when we left also helped a bit for that last extra amount of things, you know. Then understanding like, all right, well, if we want to live and sustain ourselves, then we have to find a certain archetype of place that we're looking for. We want peace, we want the cost of living to be pretty low. It was Vietnam. All right, well, what part of Vietnam? Everyone told us to try Da Nang. Then we went from Bangkok to here, and it was a stark difference on, I wouldn't say that we're necessarily party oriented anyway, but I feel like that's what Bangkok is kind of for. It's like, you know, like a party scene. And so when we got here, This place felt amazing. The air felt crisp. I don't know, maybe it's an Asian Colombia and it has the, the same caring people, the same delicious fruits and vegetables, the same thing in a different place. One thing that was really shocking for me was
It's called real food. You get to eat real food when you're out here. No processed junk. Real actual food that's good for your body, good for your health. I think 5,000 USD is a pretty good amount of savings. I would always aim for higher before coming out here. But if you have something already set up like a remote job or something, then 5,000 is going to be enough for you. Especially if you're going to a place like Da Nang, that's going to last you for a long time until you figure things out. But yeah, that's a pretty good buffer.
honking. Bikes and cars, they would do a bunch of honking. It's more so like a signal. It's like communication based. They're just honking to let people know that they're coming around the corner. But for me, honking has always been from a place from aggression, road rage and things of that nature. You're honking to really get your point across. One thing I'll say is a blessing
Road
is
rage.
that it's not just me. If it was just me, or if it was just Kai, it wouldn't be the same. Just having someone else, it made that leap easier. It made the process easier. You still have some type of aspect of home, his family member. It made things easier. There wasn't an income in the beginning. We kind of set aside some for just bouncing around because honestly, the regional flights aren't that expensive. We were doing video editing. We also did some coaching on the side, copywriting. It wasn't enough initially. And what we understood at that moment was if we decided to make content, then it would help all aspects of everything that we're trying to do. So that's what we ended up doing. We started making content. In doing so, our video editing got better. We ended up getting better clients and our writing got better. Pretty much every aspect of what we were trying to do got better. So now I'll say that we can sustain ourselves comfortably.
And so how do you live out your days now in Vietnam?
If I'm not working / video editing, I might be writing, making music, also making art, doing things that lets my creativity speak. I got into designing clothes and getting clothes made. This shirt is actually one of them. I had the idea to start a clothing line, which is still in the works. Just enjoying my life. I don't want to say, sell everything, come out here. Maybe try something a little closer to where you're at, just to see what's outside of your normal, and then go from there. Maybe try a place, see what it's like, understand that, assimilate a bit, then make that leap. The leap isn't for everyone. People that come here, they're really looking to heal or party. Like, there's always a party scene no matter where you go, but a lot of people looking to connect, and maybe that might be something that's interesting to you. Maybe there's a certain lifestyle out there that is close to what you're already living, and the only way to truly find out is to look for yourself. Doing that with an open mind, from a place of empathy as well. Maybe you might make it your life's mission to try every bowl of pho from every restaurant ever. Who knows? There's a lot of things to try, so my family.
When it comes to looking for something to do, income-based, when you make that step, that launch to leave, to move abroad, once you leave all the noise behind in the States and you're able to breathe, you're able to think, you're able to be creative, you're able to use your mind, your imagination, and then you're able to do things like this, like starting his own clothing thing. I've heard of a lot of people that leave and start their own businesses while abroad because they have the time to actually think. They're not sitting there constantly grinding. If you're at work all the time in the States in survival mode, you don't have time to think about anything. You don't have time to do nothing. The only thing you have time is figuring out how to escape, how to leave, how to get a break, how to get a vacation. But once you get that vacation and you get like a good touch of that good life, then it starts to become a mission, a goal. And the next you know, you're driven. You're driven to ditch all that BS and then go back to the place that shed some light in your life. And then once you make it, oh man, you can flourish because then you're really gonna get into your creator mode of building your life in a place with less noise, less poison, less toxic things around you. Because let's just admit it, being in the States is extremely toxic. It's not really livable for some individuals these days. So props to him for making that big leap, because it takes a lot of courage to just be like, screw this, I'm out of here. I just started a clothing brand. I just did this. I knew someone had just started a chicken farm. Who just does that? Someone that was able to breathe, have an imagination, and then build something.
Family, initially there was resistance, but what I found out later on is that they just want the best for me. My brother passed away, I'm the oldest, and so I felt like I took that opportunity to live not only for myself, but live for him, see things that maybe he wouldn't be able to see. I feel like you will find something that you love out here. You will definitely find something that you love out here.
Hey guys, it's Ross from Americans Living Abroad, and thanks for watching this video. We try to bring you guys authentic interviews from people from the US who have moved to some different part of the world. Consider subscribing and also check out some of our previous interviews here. Thanks and have a good day.
All right, good video. That was actually great. Oh man, there's so many great stories of how people how people moved abroad and how they painted out their life like this. Man, that's crazy. I would say when it came to my family didn't really care. I mean, they cared, but they were like, go see the world, go travel. Especially my grandfather. He's like, go travel, go see the world, go live your life. And my dad's like, same thing. My aunts and uncles are like, let's just say my family's always been supportive of everything I've done. I have never received any pushback, any nothing. They were all just like, just go do it. And I think that's the one thing that's helped me be able to just make big risks and just do things and live my life the way I want to live, is I didn't have anything dragging me, didn't have family to drag me down. I had family that was supportive. But the only people that ever dragged me down was just so-called friends or classmates, former teachers, coaches. In the end of the day, I had family. But yeah, props to him and props to this channel, Americans Living Abroad. Give them some love, some likes, and a subscribe. And if you want to hear some more stories, tell me what you think. If you got a cool story of moving abroad, I'd love to hear it. And send me an email at nomadicrebel27@gmail.com. I will see you on the next one. Peace.